Number two, step two is listen. Very simple. Just listen. And this is really because that is how you learn. You cannot do step one, keep learning, if you're not listening. And so Corley found this study here of the 233 self-made millionaires that 81% of them actively sought feedback in anything they did. So in their business dealings or everything, they would seek feedback from board members, from team members, from staff, and from everybody around them. And he actually mentions a 5-to-1 rule. In business, you should be talking 1 to 5. 5 times more you should be listening. And that's really because you really want to be open to new information. If you are trying to keep learning, you have to keep listening, because listening is how you're learning. If you're talking all the time and nobody else can interrupt you or get any word introduced, then you're not listening because you're just talking the whole time, right? And that really, again, comes back to critical thinking. So critical thinking is really based on what we call not knowing. So the great philosophers will say, Socrates and Plato will say, the only thing I know is that I do not know. I know nothing, right? And that what they're trying to tell us is that the only way we can access new information is by listening and not trying to think that we already know the answer. And that's really because critical thinking is, in essence, about being objective. Only if you're objective can you make the right judgments, because if you're subjective in your thinking, then there's no way you can arrive at the right answer, because you already got the answer. You already know better. You already know this. This is so easy, right? And then why do you keep failing, right? So that's why it's really about being open. Listening is a kind of openness. You're open to new information. And that's also something we find in, let's say, if you're starting a new business. In the startup, we call the way to gain success and to get traction in the market is really to find the product and the market fit. The two things have to fit together. And it's not about you coming out and saying, hey, I have a great idea and everybody's going to love it. I know it now. I'm just going to try and force it down people's throat. That's not how business works, right? You have to find a market. And in order to find your market, you have to listen. What is the market? What are people saying? What are your reviews? What are the feedback from new customers? All this you have to take in, and then you have to build a product that matches that market. And the way to build that product that people are going to love and use, and so you can be successful and that people want to buy, is by listening to them. And that's how the two things come together in what we call the product market fit. And that's the only way, really the right way to gain success if you're starting a new business, doing a startup, or even in a business existing already as my business. It's really about listening to the customers. One of the most important thing in my business, because this is a high-end furniture store, is my reviews and the customer feedback. I listen to this a lot, and then I share it with the staff, saying, hey, this delivery was not very good. There were some issues there with the client. We need to do better next time, right? That's really all about listening. And that's a very important step in gaining success.